Hey guys, welcome to A Fistful of Dice. I just want to make a quick video here doing a bit of a review, because I've been asked to, for the D&D Spellbook cards from Gale Force 9. These are not an official Wizards of the Coast product, however they are licensed by Wizards, so these, like I said, are made by Gale Force 9. So far, the ones that they have available are the Ranger, Paladin, and the Arcane deck, which the Arcane deck is all the spells for Warlock, Wizard, and Sorcerer, as well as Eldritch Knight. And they also have the Cleric, Bard, and Druid spellbooks for pre-order right now on the website. So I'm going to be getting all of these just because I like having, the peripherals to make things easier for me and my players. But I thought I'd show you guys what these things are like to help you decide if you want to get them or not. Alright, so for the purposes of the review, we're going to be looking at the Arcane deck. This one is $20, and it comes with over 200 cards, so it's every single Arcane spell in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition on a nicely laminated card. The Ranger and Paladin decks are obviously fewer cards, but they're also only $7 a piece. So if you're a player who's playing a Ranger or a Paladin, it's for, $7 you have all the spells that you're ever going to need up to level 20. So we're going to go ahead and look at the Arcane ones in this review, just because they are, the ones that you're going to be getting the most use out of. For me, I actually bought two of these guys because A, they're the most common spell type in the game. They cover the spells of 3 classes as opposed to just 1. And as a DM, that's very handy for me because if I'm creating an NPC or if I have a monster that has spells that they're able to cast, being able to have the spell cards in front of me is very handy. So I'm not sitting there flipping through the player's handbook while I'm trying to run a combat or what have you. So, and, beyond that, if we have, say, a sorcerer and a wizard in the party, or an eldritch knight and a sorcerer, it'd be nice for them to both be able to use the arcane spell cards. So, and here's what it looks like on the back. So you can see, I got a nice illustration here. So these are the cards themselves here. I just pulled out about half of what's in the arcane deck here. And they're already sorted by spell level. And on the back here, they have this nice little thing so you can really easily tell what level the spell is. So see, these are level 1 spells, and then if you go back to the cantrips, they're level 0. And also the cards themselves are color-coded. So the Arcane is red, and I'm just going to really quickly pull out the Ranger cards here because they have a different colored back. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull out the Paladin cards because they're a little bit easier to open right now. So the Paladin cards are fittingly this nice sky blue color. So, and they also have the symbol from the player's handbook on the back of them. So that's the symbol for the Paladin. So that's those. So I've been seeing some reviews online that have kind of been sort of lambasting the quality of these things, saying that they feel kind of cheap. I beg to differ. I mean, these things aren't laminated, but they're also not just cardboard. They have a nice finish on them. They don't just feel like paper or cardstock. They definitely have some sort of laminate or finish on them. And it actually feels like, I haven't tested this yet, but I've heard that you could use a wet erase marker on these things and it would wipe off with a little bit of like a damp cloth. And I think that would work, actually. I'm not going to test it right now, but it definitely feels like it would really easily wash off. So if you had a spell that you needed to keep track of something on it, number of uses or whatever, you could really easily just use the card itself to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. I'm not sure if the camera is going to be able to focus on it or not. There, that's pretty good. So you see it has it has the name, it has the school, and then it says cantrip on there. If this was a level 1 spell or above, it would say what level it is right on the front here. And then it has casting time, range, components, and duration. And then it has the description of the spell, what it does. And then in 5th edition, there are certain spells that you can cast at a higher level to do more damage or increase its effectiveness, and for those spells they have this at higher levels section here as well. If this spell had material components, you'll see it only has verbal and semantic. If it had material components, it would also list the material components in the description section, which I think is really nice. I like being able to talk about the material components if I'm casting a spell. I like to be able to do that for flavor. So these cards are really handy. They're really easy to just find the spell you need, using the back of the cards to find it. They feel really nice, and they slide really easily across the table. Here's some things I don't like about them. They tend to stick together a little bit. I don't know if that will probably wear off in time, but because these haven't seen a whole lot of use yet, you can actually hear on this one. See, they tend to stick together just a little bit, so they're not like tearing or anything like that, though, but they're just, because they're very slick and shiny, they tend to stick together a little bit. And I've also noticed a few errors. Nothing that is incorrect about the spell itself, but for instance, they have the spell Blade Ward. Blade Ward does what it does. It's not any better at higher levels, and yet they have this blank at higher levels section here, which is a misprint, because you'll notice that some spells flat out don't have that if they are not more effective at higher levels. So that's just that's a mistake right there. And I ran across a few printing errors where the ink is just a little bit smudged. But other than that, I'm really happy with these. There are a few of them, let's see if I can easily find one here, that don't have room for the full text of the spell. They get the basics across, but there might be some minutia that you have to actually look up. Not every time you cast it, but, to refresh your memory. And in that case, they have C page, and then they have the page in the player's handbook where you can find it. So really, it's not too bad. So, yeah, I'm really happy with these things. I think they're going to be really nice for my players, and honestly, they're going to be really nice for me as a DM. I like to do a lot of spell casting with monsters and with non-player characters, so having these at my disposal is going to be really, really nice. Again, these things are super affordable. I mean, you get 200. This is only half of the Arcane deck. All of these cards is only half. There's another stack this size in the box, and it cost me $20. And then again, the Paladin and the Ranger ones are $7. The Cleric, Druid, and Bard decks, I think, are going to be around $12, because they're going to be a little bit more than the Ranger and the Paladin, but not as much as the Arcane, obviously. So, but yeah, if you are playing 5th edition and you're playing casters, or if you're DMing 5th edition and you want something that both you and your players are going to get a lot of use out of, I would definitely recommend these from Gale Force 9. They're available on the Gale Force 9 web store. I'll put a link down below, and your local gaming store might have them in stock as well. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Take care. Happy gaming all.